Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasiran kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Waman ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salihan wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders and respected sisters, either you are Muslim or you are not Muslim, you should listen to these lectures of mine, because there is only one lecture in the whole world which will tell you the truth, nothing but the truth. I'm telling you, you believe it or not, you just see what will happen when Allah will make the entire world will listen to my lecture. When Allah loves it, when Allah loves my lecture, and when my lecture contains only the truth, Allah will use it as a means for everyone to listen to the truth. And Allah will destroy all other lectures with preaching people to the untruth. When truth prevail, the untruth will be destroyed. When truth prevail, the batil will be destroyed. Falsehood will be destroyed. These are the law of Allah. All this while, falsehood prevails. Why? Because truth does not prevail. But when truth prevails, falsehood will be completely destroyed from the surface of the earth. We'll start it. Yeah? We have started it long ago. The work of the truth. The work of calling people to Allah. That is the work of the truth. The work of all the prophets of Allah. Calling and inviting people to Allah means to invite those who have not recited the Kalimah, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasul, to recite the Kalimah. And in order for the Kalimah to enter into their heart, to invite those who have recited the Kalimah, to remind them about the Kalimah which they have recited, and to invite them to do the work that fulfill the rights of reciting the Kalimah. And the work that fulfill the right of reciting the Kalimah is the work of inviting people to good and forbidding people from evil. What is the evil? The greatest evil is not willing to recite the Kalimah. And the second greatest evil is after reciting the Kalimah, is not doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. The Muslim, they are not doing the work. Almost the entire Muslim in the entire world, before I started this work, there is no one. The work of Jamaat Tabligh are not doing the work of Nabi. They are not inviting the non-Muslim to recite the Kalimah. Nor do they invite the Muslim who have recited the Kalimah to do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from the evil. They are just asking people to spend times for 40 days, 4 months, in order, they say, which is wrong, to rectify themselves. How could you rectify yourself when you disobey the orders of Allah? Even the first order of Allah, you disobey. How could you become rectified? You cannot. All other orders will be nullified, will be of no avail to the person if they don't follow the first order. The first order which Allah has given to the entire mankind, which is completely has been destroyed in the whole world for centuries, from the time of Adam also. All those who have recited the Kalimah have not regarded the work which Allah has given to the Prophet as their work. they do not regard the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil, is also the work which has been made obligatory on them, not only on the prophets. Whatever the prophet is doing is to be followed by those who follow him. But they don't follow the prophet particularly on this work. They will pray, they will fast, but not the work. Because they say the Iblis, the Shaitan, made them to believe that their work of calling people to Allah or inviting people to good, forbidding people, is the work of Prophet and not the work of the followers of Prophet. But you just read the Quran. In the ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Kul hazihi sabili, tell Muhammad sallam, to tell whole mankind. Kul, tell entire mankind. Kul hazihi sabili, this is my path. Kul hazihi sabili ad'u ilallah, this is my path, calling people to Allah, inviting people to Allah. Ala basiratin, with basira, with belief in its truth. Ala basira, ana wa manittabani, and this is also the path of my path and the path of those who follow me. You think these ayat are not given to the other prophets? Also given. It's the same. It's only disappeared. Has been deleted from Taurat, from Injil. It is written in the past, but they've been deleted. But they cannot delete in the Quran. That ana wa manittabani. This is very clear. You don't need to have 100 ayats to make an order obligatory. It's only one ayat. If there is. Yes. The order to fast in the month of Ramadan, only with one ayat, is made obligatory. For this ummah, for the followers of Muhammad sallam to do the work of Muhammad, which is the work of inviting people to Allah, to become obligatory, it needs only one ayat. Ana wa manittabani. It seems to be deleted from the Quran. You know why? Because the ulama, the so-called scholars of Islam, have denied this verse. Has never been. This ayat of Quran has never been conveyed to the Muslim. Never been. Never been written in books, in kitab. Never. It kept in the Quran. And so when it's kept in the Quran, not being conveyed in kitab, in their lecture, so it is the same as deleting it from the Quran. The scholars of Christians and Jews deleted this order from Torah and Injil. Deleted it. But the scholars of Muslim, the so-called scholars of Muslim, have kept it in the Quran. Never ever to expose this verse, never ever to invite the followers of Muhammad sallam to do this work of inviting people. They never. So it is the same as deleting it. Because the common Christians do not know the Quran. This is in Arabic. When the scholars, the so-called Islamic scholars, are not exposing this verse of the Quran to the public, the public will never know. It has been kept hidden in the Quran since thousands years ago. More than 1,000 years ago, it has been deleted, has been not made exposed. Have you ever heard any ustad revealing this verse? Ana kul hazihi sabili ad'u ilallah ala basiratin ana wa manittabani. Have you ever heard? In your any lecture? You have heard?
Never.
Never. Why? They try to conceal this truth. The Christian scholars, the Jews, completely deleted it from their books of Allah, from the revealed book of Allah. The Muslim scholars, the so-called Muslim scholars, they don't delete it because they cannot. They don't convey it. So the same thing as deleting it from the Quran. Only when I come, when Allah send me, I'm not a religious scholar. I'm a doctor, an optometrist. I've never learned even a day. In madrasa, I never, even one day. Rashidi have gone to madrasa for one day. He has never gone to madrasah except enjoying himself and become crooks. Crooks. I've never been to madrasah or to religious institution even a day. But Allah have chosen me for the latter part of the world to become the naib of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the representative or the wakil of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who will expose this verse of the Quran to the entire world. You know? To the entire world. Via my lectures. You know? Every day, every month and every year. So that the entire mankind will know the truth. The truth is the work of inviting people to Allah, or the work of inviting people to good and forbidding people from evil, is the work which are not only given to Muhammad, to all the prophets of Allah, but also to the followers of prophets of Allah, to the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In other words, if we do not do this work, we will never be able to claim ourselves as the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So there is an hadith, you know, on the day of Akhirat, someone was asking the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to give them water. So Rasulullah is about to give to these people, a group of people, the water, and the angels come to the Prophet ﷺ and stop him. He said, he's not your followers. Rasulullah said, why? He says, he's not doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evils when they saw evils. Oh, then Nabi ﷺ did not give. So, if we do not do this work, you know, my brother, of inviting people to Allah, what it means by inviting people to Allah is the same as inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. What is the good? Good is to recite the Kalimah. And what is good? To obey the order of Allah. And the first order of Allah after reciting the Kalimah is to do the work of inviting people to good and forbidding people from evil. If someone fulfill the haq or this responsibility, the haq of this reciting the Kalimah, then until with the intention to please Allah, and until Allah is pleased, and He install and He, you know, made this Kalimah to enter into that person hearts to the level which Allah is pleased. Then he will become the true believers with the good deeds. That's never been conveyed before I conveyed this. I'm the first person with the grace of Allah have conveyed this reason as to why Allah has made this obligatory for us. After reciting the Kalimah, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, to do the work which fulfill the right of reciting the Kalimah. What is the work that fulfill the right of reciting the Kalimah? Is the work of inviting people to Allah, or the work of inviting people to good and to forbid people from mankind. To invite the people to good and prevent people from the evils. What is the greatest evil? Not willing to recite the Kalimah. The second greatest evil after reciting the Kalimah, not fulfilling the rights of reciting the Kalimah. Not doing the work of inviting people to Allah, or not doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people from evil. So the whole entire world, you know, those who are not reciting the Kalimah are doing evils. Those who have recited the Kalimah, not doing the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people, are doing evils. And when these two evils, the great evils, are not prevented, the whole entire world will be filled up with people of evils. Naturally. When there is nobody who recite, when there are so many people in the world who are not reciting the Kalimah, they are evildoers. When those who have recited the Kalimah are not doing the work which fulfill the right of the reciting the Kalimah, the work of inviting people to Allah, the work of inviting people to good and forbidding from evil, they are doing evils. So all the deeds of the man will become evils. So the whole entire world is filled up with evildoers. What raises up to the heaven are evil doings, evil deeds. And what come out from the heaven down to the earth? Nothing but punishment. And the wrath of Allah, punishment. And you can see the whole world from time to time used to be from one punishment to the other in that part of the world, keep on coming like beads falling from the sky. The reason as to why punishment has showered upon the earth is because evil deeds. The whole world are making evils. Every person in the whole world are doing evils. Either the person who have recited the Kalimah or who have not recited the Kalimah. Those who have recited the Kalimah are not doing the work of inviting people to Allah. They are doing evils. As a result of that, all their deeds are evils. Cannot become good deeds because they don't have sincerity. They pray evil deeds, they fast evil deeds, looks outwardly as good deeds, but they are not good deeds in the eyes of Allah because they are devoid of sincerity. Why they are devoid? Because the Kalimah have not entered, the Kalimah of sincerity. The Kalimah La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah is also known as the Kalimah Ikhlas. Because the Kalimah Ikhlas has not entered into their heart to the level which Allah is pleased. So as a result, their prayers are not accepted, everything are evils. And the non-Muslim, certainly they are doing evil. They don't even want to recite the Kalimah. So what is there in the earth? What is their amal which raises to the heaven that are good deeds? None. But now, only my deeds. Only my deed. I'm brave enough to tell you, only my deeds come up to the sky as a true deeds, good deeds, accepted. And probably now is Saman. Just about has become a true believer of the good deeds. The rest, I know this because I asked Allah. Understand? Only my deeds and Samad probably. That's all. After years of doing, only Samad become true believer of the good deeds of the lower level, not higher level, not the middle level, the lower level. This guy, Yazid, I've been trying very hard, so that he become the true believer of the good deeds. I told him, divorce your wife, make your heart empty of the love of other than Allah, so that the great Kalimah will be able to enter into your heart. He refused to obey for 10 years. Such a brave fool and stupid person. How the Kalimah will enter his heart? The love of the world is inside our heart. We are not willing to do this work of Nabi the way Nabi did, with sacrifice of our wealth, our wishes, our desire. It is our desire to have wife. But when we love wife more than Allah, Allah says, you divorce it. Only then I come into your heart. Otherwise, I will not be able to come to your heart. Your heart is filled with the love of dunya. Understand? Allah do not want in the heart there will be two love. Only one. Either one. You choose. There is also the love of dunya in the heart of someone are not completely deleted. They are remain, but it is tolerable limits. Only in my heart there is none other than the love of Allah. So I become the lover of Allah, not the true believer of the good deeds anymore. Have reached to the level of the lover of Allah. And for that reason, Allah accept my dua. Now, I'm ready. I'm going for Hajj. And most of the time now, during this COVID, I'm making dua. My dua is accepted by Allah. I make in my dua, oh Allah, you give tawfiq to whole Muslim, jinn and man, to do the work of inviting people to good and forbidding people from evil and performing prayers. And I make dua also to make the whole non-Muslim, the whole non-believers, either man or jinn, to embrace Islam. Allah accepted this dua. No other people. Dua Allah is accepting. Not even those who are with me. What more other people who are not doing this work or fulfilling the right of the Kalimah. There are many scholars, the so-called scholars of Islam, when they don't fulfill the right of this Kalimah, when they don't do the responsibility which are associated with reciting the Kalimah will never enter into their hearts. If it enter, it will enter very little. So how could they become true believers? The good is all the so-called scholars, all this while, centuries ago, not lately, no. This work, all fulfilling the right of the reciting Kalimah, has been neglected, not only by the followers of Muhammad Sallam, no, the followers of the ancient prophets of Allah. They never have understood this, that when you recite the Kalimah, you have to fulfill its right. They never understood this. Never, ever. Until Allah sent me to make all of you in the entire mankind understand this. You must obey it. Do it. Don't only listen to it. Obey it. Do, guys. Do the work of inviting people to Allah from as the way prophets are doing. Go and see the people, not the people go and see you. Like what the other scholars now are doing. They are only giving lectures and asking people to come to the mosque or to the, like Zakir Naik, you know. People are calling and inviting him, and that's only. He said, I will not come if not more than 1,000 people listen to my lecture. He doesn't want to do like the prophets are doing, Zakir Naik. He's not going to the people. What happened if we don't go to the people? There are people coming to you, but there are so many people who are not coming to you. You have to do the work the way shown by all the prophets of Allah, who are not making lectures. Most of them, they are going to the people. Not 10 people, one, everyone. Every person and every house. Understand? Even if there are 10%, at 5%, the Prophet was with 5%, the Prophet will go one by one, you know, calling them to Allah. This is the way. All the Prophets go out of their house and visiting the people. Zakir Naik is lecturing. He's not doing the work like the Prophets are doing, even though they invite the people to recite the Kalimah. That's all he's doing. But he's not doing anything to remind the Muslim about the Kalimah and to invite them to do the work of inviting people to Allah or inviting people to good and forbidding people away. The work is not complete. It's not correct. But yet, he has fame. You know? He has fame and honor. People admire him as an Islamic scholar. Dr. Zakir Naik. Because why? His majlis or his majlis being attended by hundreds of thousands of people. You know, same as Ustad Abdul Samad. All the renowned so-called scholars of Islam. Their lectures are attended by thousands, hundreds of thousands, all over the world. And this they like to do. The Muslim scholars, the so-called scholars or not, they like to give lecture where there are thousands of people, and they say these are very good scholars. Thousands of people attending to their lecture. But is there any prophets of Allah who are so high? Is there any prophets of Allah who are very high status in the eye of Allah are doing like Zakir Naik? Anybody? Not even any story narrated that Isa alayhis salam having a lecture attended by thousands. That means Zakir Naik is better than that? Better than all the prophets? No, he's not better. Ustaz Abdul Samad is better than all the prophets, only giving lectures? No. Why the people who are honored and loved by Allah are doing the simple work of going to the people, like Prophet Isa, Prophet Musa, all the prophets? They humble themselves before the people. They went to the people, the poor, the rich. The house is made from bricks or from mud. They go. They go during the day, during the night. Like Nuh alayhi salam and all the prophets. And Isa alayhi salam told to his followers that you do my work. That's why those who love Isa alayhi salam are doing still to this day the work of inviting people to their religion. But because the religion which has been brought by Isa alayhi salam has been distorted by their scholars. Instead of believing in one God, they believe that the God has a son, which is Prophet Isa. And this has made them become infidels. But they're still doing the work of inviting people to that religion which they call it Christians. But the acts of inviting people to the religion still persists until today. Still exists until today among the scholars, but not among the ordinary Christian, the scholars. They are going. They spend times for whole of their life living in remote areas of Africa, in Indonesia, in Europe, everywhere, to preach people to Christianity. The people of Africa says they come with Christianity and we embrace them. In that way, they are colonizing us, our mind and our brain, our mind and our belief. They have conquered us. You know, there's so many priests and monks living and dying in Africa, in South America, in many parts of China, in Indonesia, where Muslims, where the followers of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You think the order which Allah has given to Isa is different from what Allah given to Muhammad? It's the same. The followers of Isa and the followers of Muhammad and the whole followers of the whole prophets of Allah since Adam are made obligatory to do the work of the prophets. Otherwise, the Kalimah will never enter into their hearts. But the shaitan make it easy for them. Oh, this one you don't do. You don't follow the Prophet. You follow only the sunnah of the Prophet which are to your desire, to please your desire. Marry more, 1 or 2, 3, and like this, like the Muslim people. They say the sunnah is marrying more than one. Eating cakes, that's all sunnah. Married, having sex with 2, 3, 4 wives, that's all. They're not following sunnah actually, they are following their desires. If you really follow sunnah, you must follow all sunnah, particularly the big sunnah. I know they don't want to follow the big sunnah. The big sunnah is to call people to Allah, and Allah have said in the Quran, this is the path of you and your followers. Same as the Prophet Isa. Prophet Isa, you see the Jewish scholars, they become preachers all over the world. They don't spend 3 days, 4 days, 4 months, whole life. The members of Jamaat Tabligh met one priest, on the plane. They say, where are you going? They ask the members of we're going to make dawah, to preach. Indonesia. For how long? 40 days. Oh, 40 days. I've been here for 40 years, he said, in Indonesia. Preaching them to Christianity. The people of Jamaat Tabligh are not even doing dawah. They don't visit the non-Muslim. What more you say is dawah? You visit the Muslim only to call them to spend for him 40 days, 3 days. They are not calling them to do dawah, to do the work of inviting people to good, forbidding people. Even then, the work is wrong. The work of the priest is also wrong. The entire world are not doing the work of the prophets. Until I come. The work of the Prophet is not to invite people to spend 40 days and in ibadah, praying, listen to lecture, making zikir, sleeping like sunnah, eating like sunnah. That's what the tabligh people are doing, and they have already, understand that as doing the work of dawah. They are not doing the work of dawah. They are doing ibadah, worship, ibadah. They are not doing dawah. They are not doing the work of inviting people to Allah or doing the work of inviting people to good at all. So when they are not doing, the kalimah is not being made to enter into their hearts. They are just wasting their time, thinking they are making sacrifice or going for man, going this country, that country. But the kalimah is not made to enter into their heart. It is being useless, and they only have pride and ego. So all these Islamic scholars and the tabligh people who don't do the work of dawah the way Nabi Muhammad SAW is doing, they gain nothing but pride, like Rashidi, become proud and arrogant. That's all they get. And the place of people who are proud and arrogant is hellfire. The scholars, the Jewish scholars and the Christian scholars, they have arrogance and pride. Nothing else. The Islamic scholars, they have pride and arrogance. That's all they gain. The tabligh people who are so much are getting pride. They don't have iman. Iman will never enter into their heart because they have not done the work of calling people to Allah or inviting people to go in the way shown by the prophets of Allah and with the intention to please Allah. They would not have iman. As a result, what do they have? They have only arrogance. They have only become a man who are proud and arrogant, or the man who will enter the hellfire. Okay? Guys.